There's been a lot of noise going back and forth, man. Some Jets players are believing that Mecole Hardman gave away like the offensive game plan against, I guess to the Eagles and to the Chiefs because he was mad that he wasn't really playing a lot. Hardman was also on, I think, the Pivot podcast, basically talking about how the Jets just the reason why they had so many flaws, saying it was really no true system and it was like Aaron's way, basically, and that was it, and that's why they were losing. He was trying to educate them on, him coming from the Chiefs and having Super Bowl experience. He was trying to speak out on telling them, this is wrong, this is how you should do it. And my brothers was like, they just wasn't listening to him, allegedly. So been a lot of back and forth right now on both sides. It's tough, man, because like
the Jets got beef with everybody. It seems like
they do, man. It's like if everybody's coming at you, then I feel like it got to be some truth to it at some point. What's the common denominator? It's the Jets. But I mean, Mecole Hardman, he's on a podcast. He gets asked a question, so he answers the question. So it's like, I can't be mad at you for answering the question. But at the same time, though, I understand that, like, in that locker room, that's supposed to be like your safe space. And there's certain shit that you kind of want to keep in-house. And he's just throwing out all the skeletons that's going on and basically dissing the Jets because he didn't have a good experience there. I bet if he had a good experience there, he wouldn't be saying that. He wouldn't be talking crazy. Like even if they lost games, but he played a lot and he got he had his numbers. He probably would answer that question a little differently and answer a little bit more softly. But since he had a bad experience, he's loose with the lips right now. So
I don't loose lips, man, sink hips. I don't know when this became a thing. Like I'm really confused. This guy is a nobody.
Three Super Bowl rings, and he made the game-winning touchdown, made plays.
So does the punter and the kicker.
No, but Hardman makes like a couple plays. Like he's not a star by no means. He ain't just on the bench. Like he's a weapon.
He's not a guy. He's not the guy. Stop. Don't even try to sell me that Mecole Hardman has done any fucking thing. He's not the guy.
He's not the guy, but like
he'll never be the guy, dog.
He's never had. I'm agreeing, but at the same time, I'm not serious saying he hasn't done anything.
Yeah, but he's not. He's a nobody. He's a role player. It's like.
All right, cool.
He's not even close to your comparison of a big shot Robert Horry, who's actually won games as a role player. This guy's a nobody. For him to come out on a show and say, "I know how to win. I'm a winner," is absolutely cringe vibe, secondhand embarrassment. I was laughing and embarrassed at the same time. You're a fucking nobody. You catch a bubble screen when you're allowed to in the system. Shut the fuck up. You are a victim of success, and don't tell me anything else. A victim of success. Let that sink in. You aren't the fucking reason for success. You're not the catalyst of success. You're a nobody who's now making noise because you left a system to go back to a place you already were at and won another Super Bowl coincidentally. Stop it. I'm so sick of these bottom feeders who are rostered and win a Super Bowl who think they're the reason. You're not the reason, dog. I'm sorry. And guess what? Everyone knows that Aaron Rodgers runs the offense. Smitty and I have been talking about how bad the offensive coordinator is for how long and why he got ran out of Denver as a head coach. We already know this, Mecole Hardman. We already knew this shit. So I'm just trying to throw that out there. Like, let's not make like this is breaking news that we didn't already know who the OC is in New York. He cried his way out of hard situations. Again, what the generation has become. Just as the running back did the same thing late in the season. He gets to go to a playoff team. Cook goes from the fucking Jets to the Ravens. I'm just saying, this is what we've become. We're accustomed to getting out of hard situations and going over to easier roads, less traveled. This is what this generation wants. This is what these cats want. I have zero respect for this shit. I would rather have them said, you know what? I love my time there. This is what used to happen. And then and me and you talking like homies later on drinking, man, fucking New York's a fucked up spot, dog. It ain't on a podcast, though. It's between me and you, real shit. We lost real shit. Like we'll go on a podcast and air dirty laundry like a Be it. That's what we do now. And you're a nobody. You're a nobody. And I like Mecole Hardman. I think he's a great little role player. But you're a nobody.
But hold on, how can you say so? Hold on one end you say I like him, he's a great role player, but then on the other end you say he's a nobody. Like those are two extremes. He's not a fucking star, but a nobody is like a guy who's on the practice squad who don't really do too much. He actually play. It's a reason why the Chiefs went and got his ass. They needed a fucking weapon. The Chiefs were struggling offensively. He helped them in situations, extend drives, and get going. And
it's actually true, though, Smitty. Like, you could be a nobody.
Role players matter. You
could be a nobody, and I like you.
Most of your team is role players. Like, you know that, right? It's not a lot of stars, JB.
And you don't talk about you're the reason. I'm a winner. I'm a 3-time champion. So are the fucking kickers and the snapper and the holder, homie. You did exactly what they did. By the way, they had to kick a field goal to win. They went to overtime. They needed the snapper, the holder, and the kicker. They were more important than you, Mecole Hardman, in that game, by the way. So stop and miss me with you're so relevant and important. You're not. I'm telling you, he's a nobody. Tyreek Hill came out. At least he's warranted. Yeah, I did. Okay, you're not arguing that. Kelsey or fuck. Come on, Mecole Hardman. You were fucking shopped around. You're irrelevant. By the way, legitimate dudes like that and receivers and big time players that are contributors, they don't get traded twice in the regular season. Sorry.